In today's video, I'm going to show you how to fit a Uni-Valve into an Ova8 pole and what I consider to be the best pole setup there is. So just before I start, I just want to say this isn't a sponsored video. You may have seen Elijah that works with me. He's been in a couple of my videos now. He's actually bought this pole and he's let me borrow it off him and show you how to set it up. Now, to fit your Uni-Valve, first thing you're going to need to do is take the hose out and take the gooseneck off the top. So that should just pull out. Undo the top clamp, just loosen it a little, and then the gooseneck will pull straight out. Next, you need to take the first section out. So again, loosen the clamp off and take that out. Then you can put the pole to the side then. So with the Ova8, most poles, the Uni-Valve will sit inside the first section, but because of the narrow section of the Ova8, you can't do that. So it has to sit below the bottom of the Ova8 pole. So the first section. So what you do is you get your hose and make sure you've got enough to come out through the gooseneck and out through the bottom of your pole. Then cut that off there. Now you can either use a sharp knife, or I've got these hose cutters which are quite handy because it gives a nice square cut. So just give that a cut. And that gives you a short section of hose. So what you need now is your Uni-Valve, the O-rings to fit it, a mug of hot water, and a set of crimps, and some washing up liquid or some silicone grease, or even a bit of petroleum jelly. So put one end of your hose into the mug of hot water. This will heat it up and get it nice and soft. While that's warming up, you can put a little bit of washing up liquid on the barb. Now always check you've got this the right way round. The end with the cap on goes towards the bottom of the pole. There's instructions there that come with it. Keep an eye on that, make sure you read those to make sure you get it the right way around, because it does need to be the right way around. So once that's nice and soft, slip your O-ring on and then just push the hose onto the Uni-Valve and get it on a good way. Once you've got that on, pull your O-ring down and just tighten it up, just so it crimps it. It doesn't need to be really tight, but because you don't want to disfigure the end of the barb, but just tight enough to hold it. So that's the pole end that you've got on. Now you need the other end of your hose on. So again, put it in the hot water and that will soften up the hose. Make sure you put your O-clip on before you put it in. Slide your O-clip over the hose. Again, a bit of fairy liquid on the Uni-Valve and push it on. Now on the bottom end there's a little collar. Make sure you don't push the hose up over the top of the collar. You don't want it going that far. Push it on and you can put your O-ring on. I like to make sure that the O-rings are lined up and then just crimp it into place. Now that's ready to put back into your pole. So put your pole back together, put your bottom section in, make sure it's the right way around, and put your bottom section in. You should then be able to feed the hose up the end of the pole. It's a bit fiddly sometimes getting it past the smallest section, but it will go. When you're doing this, make sure you haven't got your gooseneck in and the hose will come straight out the end. You also need to make sure you haven't got your end cap on, so otherwise the Uni-Valve won't fit up the inside of it. UniValve then sits inside the end of the pole. You can then find the other end of the hose and thread your base cap on, providing that you haven't already got a rectus or a slick connect on it. You can thread that your base cap on. If you have already got a fitting on the end of it, you'll have to thread it on before you fit your UniValve. And then just push the base cap back on. Now, the next thing that I recommend that you do is, rather than fitting the standard gooseneck that comes with it, order the double one. This way you can put a scrubbing pad and the brush on at the same time, and that works really well. Now, the thing I like about the Ova8 goosenecks are the way that it's channeled, so the hose just slides straight up the inside of it. It makes it really easy to thread up through there, and then just pull that. You can then push your gooseneck back in. Now give that a little pull. It doesn't need to be really tight. You can pull it up so you can feel the UniValve stop it, and then just push it back half an inch. Then I think it's worth just sticking an O-clip on your hose here. Doing that just stops, when you pull the end of the hose to pull the UniValve, it just stops the hose from pulling back against the brush. So I'll just put that on. Just needs clamping up. You don't need to do it too tight, but it just helps to have it clamped up, just so the hose doesn't pull back. If you have it too tight, it will cut your water off and it'll be too tight. It'll stop your water flow. But having that there just stops you, when you pull your UniValve, it just stops it pulling the hose out. Next, you need your brush. Now, Elijah, like me, has gone with the wider brush. When I ordered the stuff for him, I did make a mistake of only ordering one set of nozzles for it. Now, the streamline nozzles are absolutely fantastic the way they fit in. You just push them in, twist, and they fit into position like that. They're absolutely brilliant how quickly they are. And then you've got 3 sets of holes. You can put them into whichever one you want. You can have, personally I prefer to have 2 sets of nozzles, so you've got a nice even spray across the whole brush. You've then got a John Guest fitting, and that just pushes straight in. Now, the next improvement I think I'd make over what comes as standard is to fit a swivel on the brush. And to do that, ever so simple, you just undo the brush stop that comes with it. That just undoes the 2 screws, ever so simple. And when you order your stuff, order a swivel head brush stock. So that then makes sure when you put it on, you've got your button at the top. So it screws straight back in into exactly the same place as the other screws came out. Don't do them too tight because you'll strip the thread, but make sure that they go down and they sit and hold the brush securely. You've then got a swivel on your brush. Now, these are really good if you can't get to a window square on. You can stand off to the side and the brush will still be square onto the window. Now, the little good thing about the Ova8 system is it just clips together. So push it in, lovely, fits together. Now, you'll probably need to trim down the hose that comes out of the pole, or you might also need to trim down the pencil jet hoses as well, just to make it fit a little bit better. But that depends on whereabouts, which set of holes you put them in. So the other thing that I like is to have a bronze wool pad. These you can buy, or this one I've actually made up myself. So they're ever so easy. Once you've got them, just push them on and you've got a really good scrubbing pad there, that great for getting bird muck or fly muck or whatever, anything like that. It just gives you that extra bit of scrubbing power for when you are working. The connector itself comes with an insert, and that is because the hose is a bit too soft to hold on the John Guest, so you just need to insert that into your blue hose and then push that into your connector so it stays attached like that. So there we have it, your Ova8 pole setup. You've got your wide brush with 2 or 4 nozzles on it. You've got your swivel on the brush, absolutely vital in my opinion. I couldn't imagine being without a swivel now. You've also got your scrubber, and you've also got fitted inside your UniValve. So a whole lot altogether is an absolutely fantastic pole. I've now got 3 of these in my van. I've stopped using Gardener altogether, and I'm just using the Ova8 poles. I'm so impressed with them. So if it's something that you're interested in, give Streamline a ring, ask for Ziggy, and Ziggy will sort you out. He's very helpful. He'll advise you exactly what you need and get you sorted. So if you enjoyed this, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.